Looks like Chuba's been signed. What's our reaction?
Jonathan Brooke owners like this.
Yeah. Yo, what's happening, folks? Brian and Brennan here for another episode of Too Much Fantasy Football here on the Fantasy Football Advice Network. What's happening, man? How are we doing today?
Oh, just love watching terrible teams stay terrible.
Hey, like we just said, you can't have good teams without bad teams, you know? If everybody had herpes, then no one would have herpes. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. Welcome back. It's part 2 of our start sit show, week 10. We covered Germany, we covered Thursday night, and the first 5 games on Sunday after that. Today we're going to do the remaining 7, and we got a little bit of news. A few amendments for the show yesterday. Starting off, Chuba signed 4-year deal. Jonathan Brooks, he may play. He's been activated. We might not even see him this week though. So, we're not too happy over there as a Jonathan Brooks owner, huh?
Yeah, man. Jonathan Brooks was like a really cheap option for a lot of people. He was like 10th round. You stash him in your IR. You're like, oh, you're not going to play, but you're just hoping for that like around this time to be ramped up and like taking a significant role. But now it's like, do they really even like believe in him? And then I saw some people were like, well, maybe they're trying to do the Detroit thing. Well, the Detroit thing works because one, they have an elite play caller, an elite offensive line, a very good quarterback, and very good weapons on the outside. So, like, there's a reason why it all works for Montgomery and Gibbs because they're not the focal point to be focused on. There's other things for them to focus on.
Yeah, Detroit added those running backs in year 3 and 4 of that rebuild. So this is they're going in reverse if that's what they're going for.
Yeah.
It's hard if you're a Jonathan Brooks owner, unless you're a keeper league, like you have that discount you're rolling into next year. As for redraft, that's a burned pick right there.
What are you trying to? I would try to move Jonathan Brooks right now. I genuinely. I mean, you're probably not going to get a whole lot, but I really just take a bench wide receiver at this point and not just have him be there.
At this point in the season, I'm trying to clear out a lot of my bench for those like backup wide receivers, and I'm okay kind of stashing him. If anything, if Chuba goes down, then he does open up a huge opportunity. But I think it's all about the price. If I can get something that's pretty decent for him, sure, maybe he's an add-in piece, and you do a 2-for-1 with him. But I think it's all about the price. But I'm okay moving him at this point. He is not going to be some back half league winner like we were hoping.
Yeah,
the other bit of news, we do need to talk about the Vikings-Jags game. We covered it yesterday, but it looks like Trevor Lawrence will not be playing. We've got Mac Jones. That's right, that guy we saw for the Patriots for years. Where are you and Brian Thomas Jr.? I guess are you still playing him? You still put him in there, no questions asked?
I'm still starting him because I still think he's so good. So like, there was a there was a tweet yesterday which I saw and I was like, dang, this is a pretty impressive tweet. It was about yards and separation. So basically, it was. Let me see if I can pull it up here, folks. It was essentially the most yards per target this season, a minimum of 50 targets. Justin Jefferson obviously leads with 11.3. Brian Thomas is 11.2, and Jamar Chase is 10.2. LSU might be wide receiver university now.
And if Odell wasn't washed and we were looking at his young ages, it's unreal what we've seen coming out.
Malik Neighbors isn't listed on that either.
I kind of forgot he was spoken on there. It's unreal. It's absolutely like I've got no problem if LSU wants to stake that claim of best wide receivers.
But I'm still starting Brian Thomas though. Like I'll start him just because I think he's so good, and I think Mac Jones. Like if Mac Jones can't get him the ball, as long as he doesn't throw a hospital ball, he should be fine.
Minnesota is allowing the most points to wide receivers, so we've seen scrubs go out there and throw balls on them. All right, let's start with our first 7 games. Brennan fired another intern, so the graphics are going to be a little lacking today. We've just got the one bottom, so you got to listen in to know where we're at. 4-4 Niners go to Tampa, play the 4-5 Buccaneers, 50.5 point over under. San Francisco's favored by 6. And yes, we should be getting our boy Christian McCaffrey back for this one.
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey said to Sherman, I guess, in like a podcast that he would have played in Dallas like weeks prior. They just were very cautious with him. So I'm expecting him a full workload, or maybe not as like to what he had in previous seasons, but I expect him to be pretty close to that. So I'm definitely firing him up. You've waited this long, of course you're not going to bench him. So
yeah, 100%. As far as the quarterbacks, Baker, even without his targets last week, still put up a good game against the The Chiefs, gave us a quarterback 16 performance, couple touchdowns, no picks. You feel good playing him against 49ers?
I'd rather not. I know the 49ers don't have the same defense, but like, I just I think there's other options. Like, I think honestly, I'd rather start Daniel Jones than Baker this week. As weird as that sounds, but I just think there's more upside play elsewhere. Like Sam Darnold, I think is more of an upside play too
I'd agree
than
with both of
Baker.
those.
Yeah,
Daniel Jones. We don't like Daniel Jones, folks, but we would play him here. Brock Purdy seems like an easy start, though. The Buccaneers, they're being beat all over the place on defense.
yeah, terrible secondary. So I expect good numbers from Debo. I would start Ricky Pearsall in this game too.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Jennings, Pearsall, Debo, I'm okay with all of them. Kittle as well. Somebody's going to probably leave you burned, but there's going to be points of plenty for all three of these, or three of the four at least.
Yeah,
The other side, it looks like Shepard's hurt. Does that just make McMillan an automatic start because there's nobody else, or is it just K Dot and the running backs and you're bouncing?
it's Kate Otten, and I don't even know if I want to start the running backs because it's still just such a clusterfuck in the backfield. Like, I mean, like Rashad White got the touchdown, so you started him, you're stoked, and you got like I don't think like 12 points or whatever it was, and then everybody else is just kind of like meh. Like I really don't know who to start.
Yeah, all three backs got targets. Irving and White both had three each. The splits, it's absolutely wild. If you're going to lean into somewhere, I think I'd be okay playing Rashad. I think I'd be okay playing both these guys as running back threes. Somebody will probably fall in the end zone, but there is risk with these just because it could go anywhere.
Yeah, I would if I had to pick one for this week specifically, I'd probably lean Bucky. I think it's probably my one I'd pick out of the three. Um, if Sterling Shepard can go, I think I wouldn't mind him as like a wide receiver three flex like that option.
I gotcha. Say you picked up Otten, but you already owned Kittle. Who are you playing in this game?
Otten. Otten's
Otten.
been on fire since the boys have gone down. So
Dude, it's crazy. San Francisco, they win this game
yeah, they won this game. What was the spread again? It was at
6.
6. I don't know, man. The Bucks keep it close. Baker always finds a way to like come back and keep it close. So I
Overtime
think
against the
San Francisco.
Chiefs.
Yeah, I think San Francisco wins the game, but I don't know if they necessarily they cover the spread.
Cool. Next game, we got 6-2 Steelers playing the 7-2 Commanders, who just traded for a corner to add some defensive power there. It's a 45 over under. Washington's favored by 2.5. Lines moved just a little bit from 3 to 2.5, and then from 46 to 45. Start with Pittsburgh. Russell Wilson. I think he's a decent stream here.
Yeah, and you just disrespected their other trade candidate they got. They got Mike Dubbs, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's a role
yeah,
player. I think it's good for the offense overall. It's not. I'm
yeah.
not jumping at Mike Williams at all.
Neither am I. No, I definitely think though, like for the aspect of Russell Wilson, it definitely helps him. He still throws a deep ball, and Mike Williams is definitely a deep ball kind of a target. So it makes sense for them to acquire him. Um, are you going to start Russell Wilson this game? Like if you have like like some guys like that are on buy, like Jordan Love's on a buy, so like would you pick him up or like Daniel Jones? Like Daniel Jones or Russell? That's a good question.
Oh, it is a good question. I'm looking at my rankings. I've got them back to back here. I think I'd play Daniel Jones just because, like Carolina, they're absolutely horrendous,
Yeah,
and Washington plays sneaky good. They've got a new corner, so
they played
maybe.
better.
I think both of them have the potential to kind of give you a middling QB2 finish.
Okay. Najee Harris, he's back in your lineup. I think he's a solid RB2. He's shown just he's been getting work, so I definitely don't mind it. And then George Pickens. I love George Pickens. I think he's a top 5 wide receiver in this league. So I'm starting him. That might be a little biased, but I still think he's very talented. I think he'll get you at least a wide receiver 2 numbers.
I don't think he's a top 5 wide receiver in this league, but I do think he's a great player this week. I also think he's a great trade acquisition. If you can go pick him up, if there's anybody that's just a little nervous about Mike Williams, Pickens hasn't done great this season, but it leans well for him to bounce back. It's just been bad trends for him. Jalen Warren, I'm not playing in this game, but I want to pick him up. If you're
No.
coming off the bye, I think he is a great addition, just as far as one of those flexy handcuffs. Pat Fryermuth,
Yeah.
playing him?
He's kind of like the bargain bin kind of guys. Like I think he's ahead of a lot of the guys. Like he's ahead of Dalton Schultz. He's ahead of like those like bottom tier tight ends. I would say like he probably is he'll probably finish as tight end 12 this week.
Ugh, I'm not a huge fan. I feel like Russ has just been overlooking him. I've picked him up in a couple of leagues to kind of try to play him. It just didn't work out for me. On the other side, Jaden Daniels easy start.
Yeah,
Brian Robinson easy start. He should be back
Trevor
this
Lawrence,
week.
easy start.
Limited at practice on Wednesday. So I mean, I guess do we feel good about playing Eckler if Brian Robinson's gone?
Yeah, he filled in okay last week. They finally he kind of treated like the Brian Robinson role. So yeah, you have no choice really.
And then Zach Ertz, it is his birthday on Sunday. So if you want to stream something, you want to go for an extra wild card play, birthday boy,
It's
go
that
get him.
birthday power. Yeah,
Hey, there's something to it. It works like 60% of the time. It works like every time, or so I've heard.
yeah.
2-6 Titans going against the 5-3 Chargers. 39-point over under. Chargers favored by 7.5 in this one. Grody.
I had
Who's
the
our
Steelers
starter?
winning that game prior.
You said what?
I had the Steelers winning the game prior.
Oh yeah, I didn't even. Yep, completely skipped over that one. Yeah, I'll go with the Steelers as well.
Yeah, this game is doo-doo and a half. I expect this to be a very boring game. I don't expect much points from the Titans side, and I expect I expect this to be the game like when they played the Carolina Panthers. Like the Chargers got up quick, and then they just kind of coasted, and that was
Yeah.
it.
As if we're recording this late Thursday before this decision's been made, the OC for the Titans said they're going to ramp up Will Levis Wednesday and Thursday and make their decision Thursday night as to who to start.
I really hope it's still Mason Rudolph.
I guess, does that change anything for you? Because the only pieces we're starting
Yes.
are Ridley and Pollard.
Yes, I would not start Ridley if Will Levis is playing. Whatever reason, Mason Rudolph can find him the ball. Like it's just like, and Will Levis throws hospital balls. So I just, if I truly mean if Mason Rudolph is not starting, I am not going to start Calvin Ridley.
In a game, too, that should be a lot of running the game. It should be boring, a lot of defense. I'm right there with you. I'm okay sitting Ridley this week if you have to. Kind of came back to earth this past week, only 70 yards on all of those targets. But Pollard, they talked about getting creative with how they're going to give him the ball and kind of managing his workload, but he's the only one that's efficient. He's the only one that's healthy at this point. So,
You mean he's the only
Pollard,
one that doesn't have arthritis in his knee?
yeah, I guess. When
Yeah,
when you draft
crazy.
somebody who's 64, and addicted to Werther's, it's going to be rough.
Dude, I cannot believe that.
All right, so Herbert's been on a tear. You're more
Yes.
looking at him as a flex play for your single quarterback. Super flex is
Yeah.
definitely in, but the last 3 weeks, 282, 279, 349, and 273 through the air as far as passing yards go. Tennessee, it's hard to throw the ball on him, but is Herbert a flex play? Is he plugging in for Jordan Love for you this week?
I think I'd still lean Daniel Jones before I lean Justin Herbert, just because I think this game I could easily see J.K. Dobbins having 2 touchdowns and like over 100 yards rushing, and then and then Herbert has like 1 touchdown for like 250, and that's really about it. Like I truly can see the game script being like that, or he throws for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns, and then they just cruise because they're up by 14, and just how the game goes. So I just think of game script. I just think that there's more upside with other players than there is Herbert. I think this team is very defensive minded first and run the ball first. So it's just, I know he's been on a tear, but I just don't know if I can start him. I'd rather start like Quentin Johnston, Lad McConkey before I want to start Herbert.
Yeah, so J.K. Dobbins, we're starting him for sure. McConkey in a PPR, you're definitely starting. You still playing him in half PPR?
Yeah, I'd still start him as like a wide receiver 3.
And then is QJ making your lineup?
As a flex, yeah. I mean, he can't. He had a great game last week, so you kind of have to see it, keep going with it.
Yeah, I'm okay waiting on QJ. I don't have to play him. I don't want to force him in my lineup for this one. But if AJ Brown, if he's on the fence for you and you need a pivot option, he is going to be there.
Yeah,
Who do you have winning?
I have the Chargers winning this game and covering the spread. I think
I'm right there
I
with
think
you.
it's just a better team. Yeah.
3-6 Jets going to Arizona to play the 5-4 Cardinals. 46.5-point over under. This line's moved from Arizona 1 to the Jets 1.5. So money's moved it. People have faith in the Jets now that they have their 6th loss. They're really, focused in, dialed up. They went out
Yeah.
11-6. That'll get you to the playoffs.
Yeah, I have no words, man. We'll start with the Arizona side. I'm gonna start Kyler. I think last week sucked for Kyler owners, but it wasn't like he had this terrible game where he was throwing 3 interceptions and was just lost. It was just, oh, I can just hand the ball off and we can score touchdowns. This is great. So like, I have no problem with Kyler in this game. What about you?
Yeah, I still have faith in Kyler. You know, you drafted him where you did. He still gives you a good floor with the rushing in the right game script. Obviously, last week wasn't it, but everybody else
Yeah,
was running. I think they're going to need him to be creative and need his skill set in this game. James Conner, we're starting him though.
he's on the injury report. Right? Did he practice last or yesterday, or was it limited?
I haven't seen any practice report news coming out on him. This is an afternoon Sunday game, so it shouldn't change too much. But yeah, as of Thursday afternoon, we're not seeing anything yet. It's also
Yeah.
West Coast,
So
so they screw you a little
yeah,
bit.
if James Conner, I saw he was injured at practice, so if he doesn't play, you're going to start what's his last name? I'm going to butcher the hell out of
Demercado.
it. DeMercado, thank you, or Trey Benson.
I still like Benson more. I know DeMercado got a lot of work, and the game script might kind of lean in there, but 4 carries, 2 targets for DeMercado last week. Trey Benson, 8 on the ground, 1 through the air. I still like the talent of Trey Benson, so I'd rather lean there, but I'm not touching either one if Connor's in,
All right, Marvin, he's in.
I guess.
Yeah, yeah, really no
He's
choice, and
he's
then
playing in the sauce this week.
Trey McBride. That's really all I want to start from Arizona.
For sure. The other side, I love Rodgers as a stream. I haven't got to say that many times this year, but Arizona is horrendous, absolutely terrible at generating pressure. What does Rodgers not want? Freaking pressure. You know, if you give him some time back there, a couple of wide receivers that are top tier in this league, I think he should absolutely shred. So I'm excited for him this week.
Yeah, I think it's a good flex option for a lot of people. I like both Devontae and Garrett Wilson. I expect him to have good numbers, and then obviously Brees Hall.
Yep. Braylon Allen should be owned, folks. We're not playing him in this game, but he needs to be owned. Great handcuff for
Yeah,
Breeze. Who wins it?
I'm gonna go Arizona, man. I'm so sick. These Jets fans now are like, "There's hope. There's
They
hope."
have
It's like,
hope.
no, there's no hope for your damn team, man. There's no way you guys get in at 9-8.
Right. We need to just cut it, make sure that they don't have that hope because it's going to be just that much worse when they inevitably don't make it. What if they
Oh
sneak
man,
in? Will they do damage if they can sneak in?
I don't think so because they play like the Ravens or the Chiefs. Like
It's
your
true.
first round bounce. Like I doubt it.
I'm going to believe. I'm going to believe with the Jets. I'm going to pick the Jets. I'll follow the
Gross,
money.
gross.
Next game we've got 6-2 Eagles. They're going to Dallas. 3-5 Dallas, who just traded for a wide receiver. 43 point over under. Philly's a 7 point favorite. Dak, we're still waiting to figure out if he's going on IR. I've heard it. The hammy came off the bone.
The
Um,
owner said, which you can take that with a grain of salt because this dude's just so honest and so sincere with all of his sayings. He said he's
Delusional is
more
the
than likely
word.
going to IR. So, like, I mean, I think he's going on the IR. I mean, I wouldn't touch him. I've already dropped him. Like, you can drop. I think you can drop Dak. Like at this point, like, there's just unless you have an IR spot you want to hold on to, and he hasn't been putting up like that great of numbers in the first place. So,
Yeah, on the Dallas side, I'm playing Lamb if he plays, and Ferguson. Is it?
yeah, that's really about it. If Lamb doesn't go, I don't mind Tolbert.
I do.
I mean, who else is going to throw to? Like, I mean, he's got to throw to somebody. I think Tolbert's not a bad option. I've
He's
been
not a
on the
good
Tolbert
option.
train. Still somebody.
He is. So like if you're in a 12 plus league, you really need somebody like Tolbert's going to see snaps. He's going to see opportunity. I'm not putting him in just because like, oh my God, he's going to be the number one for Cooper Rush.
Hey,
You know,
Brian,
like
some of us don't have a choice, okay?
draft better. Listen to the show in August.
Yeah, seriously. Just don't draft injured players.
Yeah, dummies. Jeez, get it
Yeah,
together. Ferguson, great play. He falls in that category of Evan Ingram, and there's a
yeah.
couple other. Everybody's
Kate
hurt.
Otten.
These K. Dot, yeah, these guys are just going to
Yeah,
absolutely feast as the number one pass catcher on their team. Jalen Hurts, check.
yep.
Saquon Barkley, check.
Yes. Check, check, check,
Um,
check.
check. Devonta Smith, check. Oh,
Yes.
wait, maybe not. I was skipping A.J. Brown because he's hurt. But Devonta Smith, D&P due to hamstring issue. What's
Oh,
going on to the
Jesus,
wide
dude.
receiver position, man?
Oh,
Officially limited is
Jesus.
A.J. Brown because of a knee issue.
Oh, man.
So
That's
if the
rough.
studs play, you play them.
Yeah.
If they don't, okay, if one misses, do you go to Dotson?
No.
Okay,
Dotson didn't do good.
if both miss, do you go to Dotson?
No, because Jalen Hurts sucked when they were both gone. Like, it
This
was
is very
crazy.
true. Honestly, you can run all over Dallas, so if they both miss, hopefully it's just Barkley, 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 Barkley. I guess, are you
Yeah,
pivoting at
Paris
all if
Campbell
both
caught the
miss?
touchdown before Jahan Dotson did.
Dude, I don't want to play Paris Campbell game. Honestly, Johnny Wilson, the rookie, he hasn't been great, but he's 6'6", too. Like, he's a big guy. I
Megatron
don't know.
size.
I guess Goddard. If they both miss, are you playing Goddard?
Yeah, I'd play Goddard for sure.
I never say play Goddard, but this is a situation where he falls in the Otten, Ingram, Ferguson
Yeah,
bucket.
only option. Got to target somebody.
Yeah.
Um, I want to say Eagles by a million because I just feel like the Eagles really want to stick it to the Cowboys. They just want to end their season. But like, there's a chance where if like AJ Brown doesn't play and Devonta Smith doesn't play, this game could just be a very gross just game to watch.
Who kicks better?
Yeah,
The best player might be Brandon Aubrey for the
dude,
freaking Cowboys at
65
that
yarder
point.
with ease.
Yeah, I'm taking the Eagles.
Yeah,
Screw
I
you,
too.
Sirianni. All right, Sunday night game. We got two more, folks. Let's finish it up strong. We got the 7-1 Lions taking on the 6-3 Texans in Houston. 49-point over under. Detroit's favored by 3.5. I'll start on the Detroit side because it's easy. It's Goff.
Very, very easy. Yep, I like Goff.
I like Goff this week. You can throw on Houston because they got a tough running defense, but despite that, you're still playing Gibbs and Montgomery against this rough running defense.
Yeah, I was on the train this season. I was like, I really have a hard time, owning Montgomery with Gibbs there. I figured, but like, no, this team makes it work with both of these guys. I was wrong. I was scared, and being scared, I should have taken Dave Montgomery of a lot of players like Rashad White and other
Sam
guys. So,
Laporta.
yeah, seriously. Um, yeah, no, it's crazy. I think, this team's going to make it work, and kudos to them. Amon Ra doesn't leave your lineup ever. And then Jameson Williams, he's back, I believe, right?
Yes, he served his 2-game suspension. He's back this week.
I would. I mean, yeah, like whenever he's played, he's been good. He's had some like a couple dud games, but like the highs are high, man. Let me tell you.
Calvin Ridley or Jamison Williams.
Oh, I would say Jameson Williams because I have a feeling Will Levis is going to play. So
Jamison Williams or DJ Moore against New England.
Jameson Williams, I can't. I'm off the DJ Moore train right now.
All right, I think that's all I'm kind of seeing that people might be
Yeah,
dealing with there. I get Ricky Pearsall or Jamison Williams.
I think I might go Ricky.
I think I would too. Tampa Bay, that secondary is just slaughtered. The Houston side, I'm not playing Stroud. I know it's a great matchup for him, but I'm not.
Nope.
I guess if Nico Collins is in, I'm more intrigued by Stroud, but I think you have better options to pivot to.
Speaking of Nico Collins, the Texans beat writer wrote on his recovery time confusion was, I know people are frustrated, but keep in mind, just because Collins is on the IR for 4 weeks, this doesn't necessarily mean it's a 4-week injury/recovery. Crazy. That's what we're confused about, sir. We're confused that you said 2 weeks ago he's running 20 miles an hour.
Yeah, somebody's not very happy about this, folks.
Yeah.
Small rant before the show, very much deserved because what is going on here? If Nico's in this week, if we somehow get him, we're playing him, of course. But if he is in, are you still playing Tank Dell?
Yeah, I'm still playing Tank Dell. I think he opens up I think he opens it up for Tank Dell. I'm still starting Tank Dell regardless if he plays or he doesn't. I think it's a win-win for him regardless. He's the only option, or two, he's gonna get blanketed and leave Tank Dell open for other areas.
Cool. Joe Mixon, he's an easy play in this one as well.
Yep, doesn't leave your lineup.
Despite it being a rough one for Detroit. Schultz or Laporta, who you playing?
Laporta.
Oh, Laporta, you disappoint me.
No matter what, Brock Wright will probably get 2 touchdowns, and I'll still be screaming.
Or the third string guy. That was the common factor
Dude.
last week.
No, an offensive lineman.
Yeah, there it is. Actually, there it is.
Yeah,
They're gonna run up the
because
score again.
Dan Campbell's just going to be like, I want to just dismantle him.
Oh boy, Monday night game. 2-6 Dolphins, 4-4 Rams in LA. 50-point over under. LA is favored by 1. It's moved from 2.5 to 1. So I guess some steam for the Dolphins, maybe.
I mean, the Dolphins didn't play bad against the Bills. That's the problem.
They
Like,
almost, yeah, they took him to the brink. Absolutely.
yeah. And then they kicked a 61-yard field goal and made it, which was, and the kicker missed like 2 field goals and an extra point before that. So it was just like one of those like, holy fuck moments for the Dolphins. But we'll start with the Dolphins side. I do like Tua in this game. I think Tua is another pivot option. Obviously, I love Devon Achane. He was one of my guys this season. Um, Raheem Mostert, is he cut?
In 10 or less, for sure, he's cut. In 12-team leagues, I understand holding on to him there. At this point, I might like having Jalen Wright more as the handcuff, just
Yeah, I
because,
agree with you on
like,
that.
oh man, Achane's getting so much work through the air. Like, even if they can abandon the running game because they can just implement the running game into these screen passes that they're doing, or the Achane passes. So, yeah, Mostert, I'm okay not playing this week. If he's on your lineup, there might be something better out there, but I'm okay still holding on to him too.
Yeah.
Um, Here it is. So Hill's in for sure, but that other guy.
You mean the guy got -1 yards and a touchdown last week?
Oh, yeah, that guy. That guy.
Yeah. I'm still starting Jalen Waddle. I'm going to start him.
Wow. Wide receiver
Yeah.
47, 57, 93, 48, 60, 68, 39, 17. This has not been a good year for Jalen
I'm
Waddle.
betting on this game to be a shootout. That's why. I'm expecting this to be a lot of scoring in this game, so I want kind of a piece of it. Um,
If Puka could keep his hands
I
to himself,
yeah, dude, stop throwing punches, man.
or open hand
Um,
slaps, whatever the hell that was.
yeah, that's such a terrible ejection. On the Rams side, I think Stafford's a very bottom tier for like a pivot option. I think he had a great game last week, but I think he's definitely in the. I don't really want to start him. I think there's
Mm-mm.
better options. I think two is a better option. Like I said, Kyron doesn't leave your lineup, and then Cooper and Puka don't leave your lineup either. So
No, not at all. The only tight end I would be interested in this game is for Miami. The last 4 games, Jonu's seen
dude,
6, 7,
crazy,
and 8 targets. It's not
crazy.
really turned into a whole lot of production. Only 1 touchdown in that time period. 46, 20, 96, 62. 2 of those games weren't with Tua. There's worse plays you can make, but I don't mind the tilt to Tua. Maybe it's a desperate. I mean, it's a Monday night game, so it would have had to have been a bad tilt. But I don't know. I'm just looking at him. Maybe I'm looking at my
Yeah,
best ball teams, thinking, "Huh, weren't you supposed to do something for me?"
yeah, it's crazy. I cannot believe McDaniels is like pivoting to this. Like, yeah, Jonnu Smith is our guy now.
Yeah, it's gonna be Hill and Smith, no Waddle. Screw that contract we gave him.
Yeah, seriously, I don't know what's going on with the Dolphins, and they should have traded. They should have been sellers.
I kind of was hoping. I was really hoping to see a Tyreek trade.
Yeah, I had the Dolphins
Do
winning
the
this game, by
Dolphins
the way.
keep? You think who?
Dolphins win this game.
I was gonna say, do they keep their hope alive? Get that 3rd win of the season. Oh, let's go Rams. Let's go Rams. Let's go
All
Rams. I
right,
like it.
I'm going Miami.
Um, that's it. That's it,
Yeah,
folks. We got 4 teams on bye. It's only 14 games for you. We're done. We're getting out of here. Like I said, no fun graphics. We had to fire that damn intern. Get him out of here. If you're looking for
terrible.
more of me, it's going to be at too much _ Brian on Twitter. You're looking at us 5 days a week here on the uh, Fantasy Football Advice Network. Too much fantasy football. Brendan, what about you? Where are they finding you at?
I'm on X at FFAM / Jonathan Brook owners. Sad boy place to be. And then I'm on the Facebook Fantasy Football Advice Network group page. So,
Yeah, got to go over there. Head up, check out the platform. Head over.
God, I hate
All your start
Carolina
sits.
so much. I
They're
hate
the
Carolina.